Yes. What's up? It's Triple B, Base Boxing Basement, which is not to be confused with the Triple R. I don't know where this guy came from, but whatever. Yeah, what up, Triple R? But yeah, so we're talking about Johnny Fisher, Big Johnny Fisher, the Romford Bull. How far can he go in boxing? That's the question. Now he's done very well. He's built up, I think he's 9 wins, 8 KOs. He's got a big fat dad who's obese, unhealthy, talks about Chinese food all the time, which I would advise Big John to lose some weight. Regardless of that, they've done a great job in building up his social media profile. He sells about 2,000 tickets a fight, which for a novice is pretty good. I think amateur wise, so he's at 10 amateur fights. Boxrec has 2, but I think it doesn't record all the fights. 10 amateur fights, right? He's blasted out some guys. How far will he go? He is the most interesting of British boxing heavyweight prospects, and there is a lot there, right? Fabio Wardley, Solomon Dakers, David Adelaide, these guys. But Fisher has the biggest following, man. He has the biggest following. So how far will he go? And so his I think his promoter is Eddie Hearns, right? So Eddie Hearns knows that anytime he can sell 2,000 tickets for Johnny Fisher. Now, when you're a promoter, what you care about is views, okay, on the channel. Your show is promoted on views. If it's pay-per-view buys, and locally, how many tickets you sell. So Johnny is a valuable asset. Is he any good? How far would he go? And that's the question, man. And it has to be, you've got to think, right? If you're his promoter, if you're Eddie Hearns, you've got to be like, right, this guy is valuable. He brings a lot of eyes. He brings tickets. He's exciting. He bangs people out. When do we risk him? When do we risk Johnny Fisher? Now, everybody in boxing, at some point, the promoters have to risk their fighter. Like, you remember Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno was a huge name in boxing. He was pushed. He was in the media. And he was, I think he was on BBC or ITV or whatever, a lot. In them days, there weren't many outlets, there weren't many channels. There's a lot more now. But, and then eventually they had to take a risk with Bruno against Bone Crusher Smith, and he got KO'd spectacularly. But they built him up again, and they fought Tim Witherspoon, who was a very underrated guy, but they hoped that he would beat him. He didn't. He got beat, but he had 2 more fights against Tyson. He eventually beat Oliver McCall. So you can get a guy without much talent who has a punch, and you can maneuver him very far. And let's be honest, right? You're 1 win away at the heavyweights, 1 win away from a big match, right? It doesn't matter how bad you are, there's not that many heavyweights, and if you can bang, and if you've got personality, and you've got likability, then you can be pushed into a big fight. Johnny Fisher has likability, he has power, right? He's a very strong guy. He's got this massive body, physique, no homo. Big shoulders. And people say he's inexperienced. Well, yeah, technically he is. But Rocky Marciano had only 9 amateur fights, right? What you know about that? He didn't start boxing until he was 23. Now, obviously, Marciano is like top level. But, Fisher, you got to ask Fisher, can he go further? My main problem with Fisher is he lacks accuracy. And accuracy is so underrated in boxing. Timing, accuracy. But then again, it's a heavyweight division. He can punch. I think he's only 23, so he can have a couple more years. But at some stage, they're going to have to step him up. Now, the good news for Fisher is there's no one good coming up. There is no one good. Bakodir Jalolov is good. He's 28, but seems to gone back to amateurs. There's Jared Anderson, who's decent. But apart from that, who is it? So they can make a lot of money out of him, and they have to be careful. They have to be very careful about Johnny Fisher, because they don't want him to lose. They don't want to take an unnecessary risk. I would say, in terms of, if I were to rank him against other prospects, I'd say similar to David Adelaide, who's whack, who's a bum, right? He's just a big, strong guy without much skills. If I was Eddie Hearns, I wouldn't risk Fisher for at least 2 years. For at least 2 years. I put him against bum after bum after bum. And you might say, you got to get experience, man. And there was one guy, the Spanish champion, he went distance with, and that was a great fight. But you got to be careful, man, because if he gets beat, he's not selling 2,000 tickets anymore. So you've got to play it very, very carefully. I think another 2 years of beating up bums is the right way to take Fisher. I don't think Dave Allen is a bum, but you might be able to pay him a nice wedge. Say, listen, David, I don't think boxing is all rigged, right? But I think they time things a certain way, and they will they'll get their prospects to fight a guy who is out of shape. So you might get, look, Dave Allen, look, I tell you what, man, will you fight Johnny Fisher in 2 weeks' time for whatever, 50 grand, 10 grand, whatever? And you'd be like, well, I haven't been in the gym. But you'd be like, well, it's 10 or 50 grand, bro. It's up to you. You'd be like, yeah, I'll take it. So someone like that would be a good opponent maybe next year. Do I think Fisher will win the World Championship title? No. But there's not a lot around, man. There's not a lot around. Who are the prospects? Ricardo Torres Jr., I like him, but he's not that great. Zhalov, who seems to have gone back to the amateurs. Jared Anderson. They're the 3 guys. Apart from that, where's everyone? There's no one. So, if you got a gem like Fisher, in terms of ticket selling, you take care of him, man. So yeah, I believe Johnny will be looked after. He'll continue to sell tickets and get views. I mean, I think I like him in some ways. The dad, the Big John thing is a bit cringe with the Chinese food, but I think it's nice that a son and his dad get on. And you know what? If Johnny Fisher walks in your pub, in a bad mood, he's gonna knock anyone out in the pub. Whereas you get a guy like Sonny Edwards, right, who is allegedly a world champion. He walks in the pub and says he's gonna take anyone on. Everyone's laughing at him, even the females, because they know this guy's gonna get chinned. Whereas Johnny Fisher is not a guy you want to row with in the streets, in my opinion. So yeah, let's see what happens. I think he has value. He has value to the promoter. He brings views. He brings eyes. And the problem is the dearth of quality in the heavyweight division is so poor that he might make it quite far. World Heavyweight Championship level? No, I don't think so, because he lacks timing and accuracy. Accuracy and timing is what he lacks. Right? He doesn't. The last guy he fought, I'm not being funny, but it looked like he didn't even hit him, and he went over. He was slobby. He was fat. But you got to protect your prospects. So, I think he'll be protected, Johnny, and rightfully so. And eventually he'll have a big fight, which he won't win. He won't win, but he will make a lot of money. So good luck to him, man. Peace in the Middle East.